everybody, it's Angel from Halo Inspirations. We give you inspirations to help you spread beauty and joy through your quilting journey. Happy hump day, whoop whoop. Happy Wednesday to you. And yes, we're still working on our back to the basics, getting the sewing machine mat put together, going through some basic things. So this week we're going to quilt this. I mean, it's not going to quilt itself, unfortunately. So we're going to quilt it, but I'm going to do something more simpler with it. So we're going to get her done. So let's just talk a minute about my idea and how I go through, trying to figure out if I like something before I quilt it. So remember, on the blog, which I'll put the address down here, there is a coloring sheet. So on the page, you'll see a little button. It'll say coloring sheet. If you print that, this is what you're going to get. I know that was hard to see because it's washing out. So let me throw you underneath here and let me show you exactly what I did. So when you print off the coloring sheet, this is exactly what it's going to look like. And if you get a coloring sheet from a pattern, this one's pretty simple. You've got your 4-patch, your solid, your 4-patch, your solid, right? But you can always take your coloring crayons, coloring pencils, markers, whatever, and you can actually color in to see if you like the colorway you choose, how you're positioning them. Lots of options to figure out your coloring of your project, okay? But there's another reason that I use this. And it is to help me think through a quilting motif that I may have in my head. Now we're going to do something a little bit more simpler. I don't want to get too intricate because I want to keep this nice and fun and fast. So what I did, and it came out nice, I really liked it. This is what was in my head. So I actually sketched it out, okay? And all we're basically looking at are X's in the 4 patches and diamonds in the solid patch. Okay, now this one you can see I got mixed up which way I was going to draw, but you just simply erase it if you use a pencil, okay? So this is the design that I chose to do my sewing machine mat with. I will say the other advantage to marking out something like this is helping you decide on a travel path of your quilting. So you're not breaking threads a whole bunch and getting something desirable in the end. So what I've decided to do is I'm first going to start with the 4 patches, and I'm going to simply go across here, and across this one, and then the other side. And then I'll go reverse. Now I do like to start in the middle and work myself out, okay? So again, I'll go to the longest one, I'll go across, and then the last one. I could stop there if I so choose, and I may, right? I mean, once I get the X's in, maybe I'll like it just the way it is. But if I want these diamonds inside these solid patches, this is what I've decided to do to keep it so that it is no breaking of threads, as long as I don't run out of a bobbin, right? Inside the quilt top. So what I plan on doing, I'm going to start in the middle again, and I'm going to come down, stitching in the ditch. I'm going to come over through. Now I am going to have to turn the quilt because I am quilting with a walking foot, okay, and not a free motion foot, which would allow me to just push the fabric in the direction I want. So I'm going to come down in the ditch. I'm going to come up, over, down, up. And then I'm going to come all the way down and do it again, and then finish it off and cut threads. So it's okay to cut threads off of the quilt top because I'm going to square it up anyway, so it's a great place to start and stop. So then I'll come down this one, and I'll go, well, I might come up this way. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to come up to the next one and come up. Now, on this last one, I had to think about this one. I'm going to go ahead and come down, okay? Then I'll come to the next diamond. Then I'll come to the next diamond and the next diamond. Whoops, almost forgot it. And finish. And then, so we have done, I think I went through with you this one, this one, this one, and this one. If not, we can go through and just get it all finished, right? And then I'll do this one. And the interesting thing is this last one will just be one side and it'll be finished. Now, I will have stitched in the ditch only going in these directions. So just to make it look more clean, I will then just go straight through and stitch in the ditch. Well, I'll start in the middle and then I'll go to this one and I'll go to this one and then we will be quilted. So that's the plan, okay? I'm going to walk with you with it. I will speed up the video or, you know, somehow like cut in the middle of me. You don't need to watch the whole thing, but I want to walk it through. Now to get these straight lines, we have a couple of options. So what I want to do is bring the quilt top underneath this camera and show you what I'm going to do and a couple of alternatives. Okay. So let me go ahead and get that set up. I'll see you in just a sec. So here's the quilt top and I have 3 suggestions. So first and foremost, you want to grab your quilting template and make sure that you're stitching the correct direction, because remember I drew this one wrong. It's pretty hard to do because if I went the wrong way here, I'm not going to get the full block. But just to make sure, I'm going to start with this one. So I want to make sure I'm going like this, okay? So you have your guide. It's a good idea to use it. So because we're just going to they're 2-inch finish, 2.5 when they started, you can just simply eyeball if you so choose and just go straight point to point, okay? Period. The second idea I had for you, and originally I was going to do this and I changed my mind. This is a 6.5-inch ruler. It's big enough for this, okay? And you could start here and take your ruler and making sure that when you do this that you have a point here and you're on the point and then you're on the point down here, okay? And then connect the dots, okay? And then just simply, once you're there, slide it down, making sure you're going to get all the points, making sure you're on it, and then connect the dots. And just keep sliding it down until you have one full line. Now, if you're anything like me and you really like the disappearing ink, you can only draw, I would only encourage you to draw out one line at a time, because if you did the whole quilt, by the time you're ready to do something, it might be gone. Okay, so FYI, just a little at a time if in fact you're using that method with this particular marking tool. You can use any marking tool that you're comfortable with on top of your quilt top, okay? But the last way that the way I'm actually going to do this is I'm actually going to use painter's tape. You can get this from any hardware store that sells it, Lowe's, Home Depot, you know, wherever it is that you can get some painter's tape. It's wonderful because, number one, it re-sticks over and over. So you can keep using the same piece over and over until it don't work no more. And then you just get another one, okay? So that's the number one. It's reusable. And then it's easy. So I'm just going to put it right so I can get the point and get it down. Okay. There we are. Whoop. You want to make sure that you can see the point, because you want to make sure the needle hits the point. Glasses are probably a good thing. You'll go all the way down. Whoops, that one's not right. I'll pull it up so you can see here. All right. Whoop, that one's not right. Okay, so I have gone all the way across to the bottom. So I'm simply going to start here and come all the way down and cut threads at the bottom. And then I will retape going this direction, and I'll sew going that direction, and then the last one, and then I'll flip to the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 5 stitches total for this direction. Okay, now if you're wondering what thread I'm going to use, I am using 2310 Orfil. Yes, I've got a little nest. I pulled on it wrong. So, but it works just fine. So 2310 from Orfil. I want to say it's a light beige. It will blend very nicely with most of the colors. There's a couple that it's going to pop, like it's going to pop in this brown. It's okay for me. But it blends really nicely inside the solid patch, right? Where it's really going to show though is on the back. And that was my choice. I wanted this back for anything, but I don't want to put the green on the top, which I could have. That would have worked very nicely too. I think I'm going to let's pull the green and let's see. It also blends very nicely, gives it a little bit of a pop so the diamonds would stick out on the top, and on the back it would blend better. So what to do? See, this is the way I think. Most of these, well, it will blend pretty nicely in most of them, but I think they'll pop. I think I'm just going to go ahead and stay with the beige. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, well now you see, that's how I process what I want to do. It would look nice on the back, but I think I like the beige better on the front. But that's quilter's choice. You can do whatever you like. So let me get this loaded back on the sewing machine, get this underneath. I am going to use quilter's gloves. They're called machingers. These are my quilting gloves. They do get dirty from the fabric. There's a way to wash them. I'll have to talk about that in a video. But they have little grippies on them, so it really helps. It really does help to control the quilt and get it so it slides very nicely for me. So I am a fan of machingers. So you'll see these on my hands also. So let me get this all set up and I'll see you at the sewing machine in just a sec. Here we are at the sewing machine. I'm looking for my thread, top thread that is. Make sure you have glasses if you need them. Those always work nice. Now I'm going to go down inside the batting. So I'm basically just going to lower the stitch. And I am taking note, or lower the needle, excuse me. And I'm going to come up a minute. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to come over just a bit. And I'm going to use my hand wheel here. Very good. Here we go. And I'm taking note on where my tape is. I'm going to try to keep it pretty well the same compared to where my needle is. And very simply, we are going to stitch to the next line. Or intersection. Okay, and if you're wondering, to prevent drag, I've got the quilt top sitting up on the table. Now I notice it's not quite there, so I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to the line, to the cross, and then I'll get back on track. Oh no, because the next one's really off. So let me reposition the tape. That's a nice thing about this, is it can be repositioned as you go if it becomes a little cattywampus. go ahead and reposition the next one. Now this is one that I wasn't quite perfect, but ain't nobody gonna know but me and you. Okay. Because I got off a little bit from the get-go, I'm having to reposition every point. Okay, which is fine. It can be done. Oh, something's sticking. Pull that from the back. I do have a bit of a drag coming from somewhere, but I'm going to come right off to the batting, and I'm just going to simply go ahead and whoop, cut threads. Okay. And then I'll reposition the tape again. Now I stopped here, so when I go to start, I'm going to start on the same side of which I stopped. So I'll start over here. I'll flip the quilt top around, and this is the point of which I'm going to start. So wherever I end, that's where I'm going to start next. Okay, so I'll stitch all the way to the other side, and then the next time I'll start at that end. And I'll keep going back and forth to try to keep this even Steven. Okay, so we've got 4 more stitches to do. So they're all the same. I'm just going to alternate the size of which I start. So once I'm done with that, I'll come back at you. I'll see you in just a sec. They're all stitched. Yippee! Okay, so now all we have to do is go the opposite direction, doing the same thing. I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. So less stitches go in the other direction. Just make sure you're going the correct direction. If you need to, pull out your template, but I think it's, like I said, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So I will get all of this stitched down, and then we will talk about the diamonds. So I'll see you in just a sec. Everything is stitched. We've got our X's in all of them. We're ready to start the next step. And if you remember, I'm putting diamonds in here. Now, notice these points on the outside. I actually have them going to the point of the end of the quilt. So to get these a little more equal, I'm going to find the center. And remember, I'm doing this one first and this one, okay? So I know these are 4 inches, okay, going across, roughly, right? Well, I'm going to want to find halfway, and I want to do it about a 1/4 inch in. So I'm going to line this up, and I'm going to go back just a bit. Okay. And I'm going to mark at 2 inches, a little dot. And I know that I'm going to want to come to the point of the 2 over here. So I'm just going to, now you have to be comfortable with your tool if you do it this way. Watch it be the one time. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line. Okay. And then this one's pretty easy. And then this one. Okay. And then the last one. I'm going to go through that point. I moved it too far. Okay, connect the dots. It's pretty close. It'll be fine. And I'll do the same thing to this one. Whoop, almost went too far. That would have been catastrophic. And down here. And down here. Now the nice thing is, if you happen to veer off a little bit, we want them straight, but if you happen to veer off, this markings will go away. Ain't nobody gonna know, okay? So they're a very good guide. So I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna come down to this point. I'm gonna go to that point, here, here, back up, travel all the way down in the ditch, and go through just like so, and then be done. Oh, there's a thread. Never pull your threads, you just want to snip them. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get this done before these disappear. See you guys in just a sec. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've dropped my needle before in the batting, before the quilt top, and I'm going to come stitch in a ditch till I get to that point. With my needle down, I'm going to turn. Now, if you'll notice, I do stitch in the ditch. So because of the way I've pressed, the blue is actually higher than the white. I'm using my fingers to spread the fabric a little bit, and I'm stitching on the side of the white, or it's actually cream, but it looks white. So I'm actually stitching on this side, okay, right until I get to that point. Boom, just like that. Okay, so I want to go up, okay? So I'm going to turn the quilt top with the needle down. Okay, and I'm going to stitch to that point. Okay, right on that point there, leaving my needle down. I want to come over here, so I'm going to turn the quilt top again. Coming to that point. I'm going to be a little bit off, so I'm just rearranging just a bit. There we go. Needle down again, coming down. One more, boom. And then I want to come back to where I started, trying to hit exactly where I did. That's the trick. At least for me it will be. I hope I hit it. You don't know till you know, right? So I'll turn it back, and I'm going to stitch in the ditch to the next one. And you can already see that I'm fading. So I got to get down there. Now I will tell you, I'm looking and my cream is still more under. The green is higher than the cream, so I do want to get into the cream. And then the pink is higher, which I think is a little odd. We're getting closer to the diamond again, but this time the purple is higher. So I just want to get over on that side of it. If you get a little off, just take your time, try to get back. I'm going to go to the point where they both meet. I think I'm there. And then I'm going to go up just like before, hitting those points, coming back and finishing, okay? So I'm going to go up first. Have to think about it. If you have to reposition your hands, you want to go ahead and stop the needle first. One thing I will say, when you're doing any kind of quilting like this, you want to make sure that you keep your shoulders nice and relaxed. Okay, I'm out. So now I will cut threads. Oh boy, test of all time. Let's see how we did. See you in just a sec. So here we are. I've got my diamonds. Remember, the purple will fade. It'll be fine. So at least for me. So you do need to test your fabric with whatever you're doing. And let's see how those points look. Don't think, I don't know if you can see it. Blow it up if you have to, but I don't think we did too bad. We got them right there. Now this one has a line because this is the ditch we stitched in. So when we go to do the next one, we'll catch it. We'll be sure to get all of the stitching in the ditch, okay? So we didn't stitch down this stitch. So we will be sure to get those in. And interestingly enough, I think when I planned it, oh no, I did, I planned it this way. Like, oh, not there, down, yep, to here, okay, and then down. And then the last one, we'll hit it like so. Now remember, on the outside ones, okay, you want to come in about 1/4 inch. Okay, maybe just a smidge closer, but you'll just, because you don't want your shape, I'm sorry, you can't even see that. You don't want the shape of, if you come all the way out here, it makes a different shape. These are more equal because we've taken 1/4 inch off this side. So it's a little bit more equal. And we won't, I don't know how far my binding will come. It should come to the point, right? Because I did 1/4 inch. So it should. That's the idea. So when I go to do this guy, I'll come in 1/4 inch and find 2 inches and put a mark. And then draw it out. This one is all enclosed, so we're just going to hit the points. So all of this, so here we'll go down this side, okay? And then we'll go down this side. And then on the other one, we've got this one coming down, right? And then the last one, you'll hit all, look, this one will have 2 points that are 1/4 inch in, so you need to be careful. So you're coming on in, come down, there we go. Then you'll have 2 back and forth. That way we get all of the seams, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get my next row marked, and I'll get it all stitched. So I'll see you guys in just a sec. One thing that I want to mention is I have to come down here, but since I'm starting, I'm facing the side of the quilt that is less. There's less over here towards the machine. I don't have a very big throat. It's 6.5 inches on this one. The rest of the quilt, where there's all kinds of space, is to the left. So you want to let your quilt work easier for you, and so you have less underneath if possible, right? When I turn this to do some of the lines, I'm going to have a lot of bulk on one side going towards, but as much as possible I'm going to keep it on the skinny side towards my machine. Okay, just wanted to give you a heads up on that. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video for this part, and then I'll get the rest done off camera. All the diamonds are complete, and if you're wondering, see, this one's almost gone, so they will disappear on you. But I will say, if you get a little nervous or if you wanted to speed up, you can just take a wet paper towel and give it a dab, and it'll get darker at first, but it will disappear. It will. It's never failed me yet. Just takes a little longer when the humidity is a little less, because it's all about air and water. Air and water soluble. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. I mean, you can already see this is already starting to disappear faster. So there she all is. Now let's turn this over, because all we've done are down and then our diamonds, right? So this is what it looks like. I know it's probably hard for you to see, but I feel like it looks pretty cool. And I could leave it. I've been debating, because I kind of like the design. So what's missing are these lines right here, which I may or may not hit correctly, right? But I think no matter what the back looks like, I think adding that extra stitch is just going to give it some pop a little bit more, because I can tell that these are quilted in the ditch, because it just makes it a little poofy on each side. And so I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and do the across. So I'm going to start down the middle, stitching in the ditch. That's all I'm doing, and get all 3 lines done, and then we will have been quilted. So I will see you guys in just a sec. Whew! Yes. She is quilted. Yes, yes, yes. Looking good, looking good. We have it quilted. Now I know it's hard to see like that, so I took a few pictures. Hopefully they turn out, because I'll pop them up here, a little of the front and the back. And it'll be fun to see, because I'm recording ahead of time. We want to know, right? You want to know about the purple things, right? They're going to disappear. It will be okay. So, yes, she is quilted. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, I do know that I have a couple of things that I want to talk about on the live today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Why? Because we're in Virginia. There are a couple of things I do want to talk about in our live Q&A at 3 p.m. today. Okay, so I hope you're able to join, and if you're not, you can always catch the hashtag replay. Of course, I'll have some new products too, but most importantly, we will discuss the quilting aspect of this wonderful sewing machine mat for Back to the Basics, right? So, hope to see you then. If you haven't grabbed it and now you're more intrigued, I'll put again the blog address down here. Grab yourself a coloring sheet. Yes, we call it a coloring sheet because you can color on it, but you see how advantageous this thing really can be, even when we're thinking about quilting. So that's the blank one. Of course I have a couple of them. I have the one I drew on for the quilting motif, and it helped me map it out, right? So if you're interested, it's there for you. It's free at the current time. So grab it while you get it. And yeah, see you at 3 p.m. Next week, we are going to be doing I think it's next week. It's the first week of May. Is it the first week of May? No, maybe not. What's today? I think it is the first Wednesday of May. We will be doing our Cherub Chit Chat, where we get to share your inspiration. So make sure, if you will allow us to share your work or your works in progress, they don't have to be finished. Share them to us either by email or in the Creative Kingdom, which is our private Facebook group that anybody can join. It's just private because it's locked. Just make sure you answer those 3 questions. Link for that is down below. It's on Facebook, so come on aboard. You can share your pictures there and let me know that it's okay for me to share them here next week. But at any rate, So that's that one. Now, the next time we're hitting the sewing machine mat, we're going to bind. I'm looking forward to this because I'm going to be able to do the whole thing with you together. I do machine bind, and a lot of people like the way it looks. So I hope you'll see us then and get this project all finished up. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them down below. If you're not able to be on the live and I get it before the live, I'll address it during the live. So I hope to see you at 3 p.m. Hope to see you for Cherub Chit Chat. And then I will love to see you to get this machine bound. So until next time, guys, may you continue to be inspired, productive, ever so joyful, never stop believing, and never stop making your dreams in quilting come true. We love y'all. Happy quilting. Whoop, whoop. And we'll see you all soon.